I'm Richard Akins. I'm a Hopkinton resident, landowner, taxpayer. This wind law is a roadmap for a wind farm opposition. It is disheartening to that it assumes that all residents and taxpayers want to oppose this wind project. I think you need to look at the towns of Franklin. The towns in Franklin and Lewis County where residents and taxes have stayed stable or gone down because wind revenue funded their budgets. One of those towns this board met with in the Lewis County built a new town office, garage, paved all the roads in the town, and also put $1 million in the bank in 12 years. The town board should look at the data that was done by Jefferson County Community College about people living in wind zones. It showed that the majority of the people who live in the wind turbines have positive views of the windmill farms. That is unbiased of a poll as I think you can get. The town board needs to understand that the environmental impact of wind turbines compared to alternatives, there is no fuel cost for the wind. Once the turbine is erected and the fuel is needed, is free. This wind law as presented is bad wind law and does not treat people or businesses fair, or maybe this town board does not want to treat everybody fair. The reasons for this follow. There is no buildings that in this town of Hopkinton that has to have a 5 times its height from a property boundary line, or 5 times its height from a road. Should every house be built that way? Why do you put this restrictions on one project? You didn't put that on solar farm. Or buys water. The mills have to follow these, but it should make everybody follow the same law. Also, let's not forget that the St. Lawrence County Planning Board recommendation was that this law was way too restrictive on the setbacks. And they more agreed with the setbacks Avangrid had planned. As far as the real protected value of agreement, it should be tied to their assessment. I don't think people should want more for the property than they're assessed. So these people that have built houses, and live in buildings, and never bought a building permit, and never been assessed, I don't think they ought to be rewarded for something they never had to pay taxes on. If there were safety and healthy issues with the windmills farm, then there are communities that have windmills letting more windmills come in. I mean, we've got towns in Franklin County, once windmill park, they invite the next one in because they want them. They enjoy it. They enjoy the revenue. And it has
No choice.
No choice.
Please. No, I'm just telling them to behave.
Okay.
Sorry, that's your 3 minutes.
Thank you.
I'd like to, okay. I'll try. Ernie Wood, Route 72, Potsdam, in the town of Hopkinton. I would like to congratulate Avangrid on coming to Hopkinton, the Parishville area, and breaking up families, friends, and into enemies, making promises they won't keep, and making bribes that we won't take. Hopkinton is beautiful the way it is. We don't need outsiders telling us what we need. Avangrid has no good intentions except to take and run. Take your towers and go where they're needed, wanted, and we'll take bribes. As far as pilot programs, we all have to pay our taxes, our fair share, for what our property is worth. Why would our town board authorize a corporation from Spain to move in and give them a break rather than paying their fair share? We can and we will remember.
My name is Laura Murphy. I live in Fort Jackson, about an eighth of a mile from the Hopkinton border. And I don't have a speech prepared like many people here tonight. I can only speak in the heart. which I have done before and I have put in words many, many times. I support and I thank you, the folks up here who have worked very hard to try to be fair, to try to be reasonable, to try to look for the health and well-being of the folks in the community. This has been a hard task for all of you. It's been a hard task for all of us. I am proud to be affiliated with the CCRP group. We have done nothing but try to bring forth education, understanding, anything that could try to help you to understand the impact that turbines could have on this community and the people who live here. I am tired of hearing about bullying. I am not a bully. You can look at me and you will know that I am not a bully. And I have been door to door, and I have met with many people, and I have never once bullied an individual. Never once. And I resent that. And I also want to say that from my front porch, I will probably see every single turbine that is built. I live in the Adirondacks because I love it. You can put a turbine in front of me and offer me $20,000 and I will say no. I will say no, because some of us value the land, the environment, our neighbors, our friends, the sky, the earth, and the wind, that we just like to listen to.
Yes. Yes.
That's what we value. Money is not the object. For most of us who are dedicated to this, we love the land. So you can say whatever you want about us. This is why we're here. This is why we fight this over and over and over again. I personally do not want to sit on my front porch and see 35 turbines spinning in the air, killing the creatures that I look forward to every fall. I want this wind law to be, I support what you're trying to do. I think you've made compromises with it. It might not be perfect, but at least it's some protection. And that's what you're here for. And if there's anybody on the board that is not here for that reason, then you should not be representing your people. And I appreciate those of you who are. Thank you.
Live in Stockholm, and I have worked on the windmills. I've been where some of the people were against them when we got there and everything. Some are still against them, don't get me wrong. But while we were there, they were very satisfied. They kept complimenting us on things that were going on and how smoothly everything was going, and how anything that was being disturbed was also being fixed in a way that was comparable to what it was. The thing about the money and everything, well, look at Messina up this way. There is no money, and yes, this is beautiful land out here. The people out here are fantastic. The people out here are fantastic. But the whole thing is, there's gotta be money. All of the kids here are leaving. It's really nice, I love the country. But when it comes down to it, help with paying light bills, that being paid off and everything, that is not just an incentive, that is something that is very helpful to everyone. The money is needed up here, the work is needed up here. As far as the environmental impact, I have seen and talked to the people up around Chateaugay and everything. I go up there every summer. When I go through there, windmills are not ugly. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I would want 100 of them around me, but at the same time, people up there are safe and they do not do that much destruction or anything. They do not hurt the environment like they keep coming up with. As far as doctors saying that, they are doing special studies on what it's doing to hearing and everything, I know people that live up there and other places where we've built the windmills, and there has been nothing to it. And I can't think that there's a person in this room that can't tell you that they know some doctor that is not saying that he will investigate this or this as long as he's making a dollar. Now, he may be saying that this is all about money, but so are doctors. So, I mean, you can play it any way you want. The whole thing is, I do not believe that we should pass up on something that will definitely, and you know, as far as money and everything, will help out the area. The area needs help. We need to be able to keep our young people here working. We need to have businesses want to come here because of the electric that comes from the windmills and everything. The more that happens, the more we get other businesses up here. You look at Messina now, Messina is desolate, nothing going on there much other than heroin. It's really...
I'll take care of it.
Hi, Amy Mitchell. I live on the Connor Road in Parrishville, just about a mile from the border of Hopkinton. I grew up in Malone. My husband grew up in Potsdam. We picked here. Then we moved. We said, oh, maybe we got to better take care of our user education and go away. We went to the Dallas, Texas area. And we said, nah, that's a little too much. We went to New Hampshire. We liked it there, but we chose to come back here. My husband took a pay cut. We took a big risk. We bought land here. The reasons are echoing your reasons, your reasons, your reasons, sorry. The reasons that are the nature, the stillness, the quietness. So I was a kid, so to speak, when we picked the land here. Then we moved away from the land. And I was still, compared to now, a kid when I chose to come back. I will most likely choose to leave. And that doesn't matter to anyone in this room. I'm not saying that because that makes a difference. But I will most likely choose to leave if the project goes through.
Most Yoder, Parrishville, less than a mile away from the line, Hopkinton line. I was born in St. Lawrence County. My parents moved away, and after we got married, I moved back in 2004. What I want to say, and I'm prepared to prepare a statement because I wasn't planning to talk, but we spent a lot of time in the USDA office looking at the different soils before we moved here. And we found that the USDA rates their soil from 1 to 8, 1 being the very best, 8 being the very poor. And they told us, and we found information on that there's only so many million acres in the U.S. that has #1 soils, next to #2. And there's a lot of #2 soil. I shouldn't say a lot, but there's a good bit. I have some on my farm. There's throughout Hopkinton, Stockholm has some. Potsdam and Canton have some too. But there's a good amount right in this area that's rated as #2 soils. Some of the very best in the USDA. Please help us protect our land and our soils. Thank you.
My name is Ann Britton. I live in the town of Brandon, which overlooks the town of Hopkinton. And I know that, and I've seen it, I've talked to pilots and other people that are experts, and I would be looking at turbines if they were erected as planned according to that map. I would not be able to stay in my home. I know I would leave, because I have been to Maple Ridge Wind Farm. I have spent 10 years back and forth to Maple Ridge Wind Farm. And I know what it's like to try to sleep next to them. And those are little small ones, and there's hardly any compared to what has happened east of us. So, I mean, I woke up and felt horrible things. Another thing is, the doctors that have studied this are not getting paid. I just want that to be clear to everybody. They are all volunteers. They've not been paid for any of their research or any of the treating their patients. And Dr. Nina Pierpont treats patients from Chateauguay, Belmont, including Ray Rogers' kids. And they, you know, she's not looking for money. They don't need money. They care about the people. They moved here for the same reasons we did, for the Adirondacks, for the quiet. I grew up in a big, big city. And I'm in support of the wind law the way it's written. And I really urge board members to pass it the way it is, get it through, protect all of us. Because I don't want to look at flashing lights out my window. I don't want to look at spinning blades out my window. And I would, because I live up high and I'm in direct view of it. So I'm thankful that town board members that have done the research and want, you know, go on places to find out things about everything, talk to people. I can give everybody names, phone numbers, addresses. They want to talk to other people experiencing things. But the wind law has to be protected. You have the one that from Altona that burned up the other day, and people are telling me that still they go by and smell the hydraulic fuel that was burning from the turbine. And I got that report last night. They're still smelling that just driving by it. It's hazardous. There's a lot of poison in there. I've seen the transformer in Lowville blow up and contaminate 4 wells. Only one came forward. It was publicized, but we talked to the other 3 landowners. It happens. The guy that went to work on it was actually staying at my house working in Clinton County at the time, was called to go down there to try to fix it. So I do know these people. I've experienced it firsthand, and I applaud you for putting this wind law to public hearing, and hopefully you vote for it. Thanks.
Any new?
Dwayne French, 564 County Route 49, Fort Jackson. I'm kind of in agreement with Mary Jane on the overlay zone. I read articles about how the community's been split. This line in the sand you call 72 is splitting the town. Let's not do it, okay? Also, I want to apologize to Avangrid for what this happened back here. That is not Hopkinton. I've been here over 40 years. Hopkinton is the people that were at the Summerfest. These people were not. Okay, these people do not come to dinners here. They do not come to chicken barbecue, fire station. I've never seen, well, I can't turn around and look at you. So, the majority. Okay, I was at every Summerfest. All right. As far as the setbacks, I don't understand 2,500 feet. If you're talking ice throws, I saw the graph, I saw the figures that were presented from the advisory board. They're not even close, people. They've got them right here. Can I hand out copies to, I'll hand them you so you can do it. I think I did it mine. Number one, the first mistake with this drawing, if you look at it, YO is the tower, or height of the tower. They've got ice coming off the top of that tower at a 40-degree angle, physically impossible. We all know it's going to come off at a tangent of the rotation of those blades of the circumference. Okay? They also have a disclaimer here. Atmospheric drag is neglected. Why? You see it, Sue?
Oh, I do, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, you look puzzled, that's all. So anyways, if you go to Google and you see projectile trajectory with and without drag, Google that. there will be, the second one down, only because it's an interactive graph, is this, the website below that. Just play with it. You will see for yourself what the ice throws really are. Okay, it's there. Just make sure, and if you use another one, make sure, and I found trouble with a lot of them because they didn't go up to 180 miles an hour. Find one that goes 180 miles an hour. Thank you.